Fine. Hey everybody, welcome to Sculptrin's Realm. I am Sculptrin, and it is 2023. Holy crap, I'm still trying to rub the hangover off. But I am here. We're going to be playing a little bit of Dead by Daylight. Why not start off the year with this game? Now, I have played a couple of rounds, and I can't believe how the tunneling has dropped. I mean, literally, tunneling has become the main issue. Terry, how you doing, Terry? Welcome to the stream. I mean, God, the tunneling that these killers are doing, it is beyond. It is beyond insanity how they just keep doing it. I'm gonna see if we can survive here some games. I've been playing off camera, well, Dead by Daylight with my son, and we've been going over a couple of things, and my God, it's so, like the killers are so tunneling. They're just insane. Tunnel. But let's hope we can do this, and I am going to be going back to retro streaming again. So this is just going to be a start for the new year. Like I said, I want to do my first stream, and it's in one game that I always play. Now, now I did manage to get Francis, Alan Francis, and put him. These are the only people I got left, and I probably will get tapped later. Like I said, I'm in no rush to get everybody else. This is basically, I want to see what I can do. Yamamoto Estate. So it is basically touch and go right now. I want to see how well I could do. And again, the tunneling is beyond insane. But we'll see what we could do. There is Nyla by Daylight. Terry 3Gs. Oh crap! No, if I wanted to do Nyla by 3Gs, I don't even think they would have a character. Like, I wouldn't want to drop. I wouldn't want to put Janie in that position either. Because, let me see, where is Thunder Thighs? Down with the thickness. No, and I wouldn't want to put her in that position because that's a real woman. Nyla Rose is not. So, we're going to go through this. We're going to see, like I said, it's been a great, I should say so far, it's been a decent new year. I haven't really got any big complaints yet. But the year is still young, and we will see what happens with this all. I am going to try to do some more streams, trying to get everything more in perspective so we can keep doing it. I'm going to improve my display, my display, so you guys can have something better to look at. Vicky Guerrero should be the one of the monsters. Her special move scream, "Excuse me!" Yeah, right? Yeah, it's funny. I don't think Vicky Guerrero was ever a character on WWE. Maybe she was, but maybe as a person you talk to. I think, I'm not too sure. Vicky Guerrero will be like the Queen Sindel of Mortal Kombat, that she does the scream. Ah! It'll just be, "Excuse me!" And it'll like rattle the whole world. The love interest of Edge. Can you imagine Eddie must have been rolling in his grave? It's like, I leave you, I leave you, and this is what you do. Be the town hooker. Yeah. It's a shit. I never found her as a talent. I just never really, you know, I, the only thing it was the excuse me and that's it. That was the only thing. You know, more like any of Edge's exes. Yeah. It I don't know. To me, the story wasn't appealing. It just why, except just to harass Chavo or somebody else, you know. And right now she's in AEW and she's got like Nyla Rose. Like, wow, what a demotion, you know. That's they shouldn't. They should have not called her Rose. They should have called her not. What is that plant from Little Shop of Horrors? Seymour. They should have called her Nyla Seymour. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're all here. We're all together now. All together now. All together now. I need to get up here. I don't want to die. I want to live till I die. Now, yeah, I'm met to no end when I hear people saying she's been a big help to those Oh, fuck no. She hasn't done. But like this, first of all, you got to have a wrestler with a wrestling career. So let's get that straight. Fuck it. Why? Why are you bringing her to me? Thank fucking the. Bye, whatever your face name is. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Come on, get in here, Ada. I hope your new year was good. Celebration. You know what's funny? I was looking at a lot of I was reading, should I say, reading a lot of the New Year's Eve celebrations. And I'm glad I didn't watch any of it. You know, I was not a big fan of any woke type theme, you know. And the good news is, oh, that's bad news. That's bad news. We lost one. Actually, even in Dark Tonight, Vicky hasn't been with Naya and Shafir for a few weeks now. They played it out of some kind of disagreement angle. Makes sense. Look, and nothing against Vicky Guerrero, but her time has come. You know, it's time to move on, do something else. And there's no shame in it. You know, her value as an entertainer is very, very limited. So, It's like Tully Blanchard. They had Tully Blanchard, one of the greatest wrestlers of the '80s, and a great mind for the business. And he's, you know, he was doing really great, and they actually, pulled him off of it. He was managing FTR. He was Sean Spears. They could have done a lot more with him. Hell, they could have done a legitimate Four Horsemen angle with MJF, FTR, and Sean Spears. Oh my God, me and this girl are just banging the fucking shit out of this thing. Uh-oh. He's in a snowman. I'm watching him. Yeah, I'm watching him. Me and this Ada are just badassing the shit out of this. But yeah, I mean, they could have done a lot more with a lot of, and that's the problem with AEW. They're so focused on former WWE people, and the idiots that are in there. Yeah, you, you do it. I want to get a balloon. Funny thing, I don't trust that dude. So it's like I don't trust him. He was like hanging out. I don't know where the other one is, door is. Watch, she's gonna go down. I'm disturbing the boys. Fuck it. We're gonna go ride the pony. Da 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 dee da da. I got out. I didn't trust them. So yeah, I mean that's what I see with. That's what I actually see with Shafir. I mean, Vicky Guerrero. Like I said, she's there. She's not really a motivation. It's like they just got off the cheap heat with her. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the truth. It was just a cheap heat. Like, oh, it's Vicky Guerrero. Excuse me. And for the first couple of weeks, it's funny and it's fun to watch. But now it's like, even what makes me laugh, nowhere, no promotion that I've worked in and that I've ran would ever want to be, oh, we gotta have this person. They're gonna boost our roster. And your commentations are, you're almost lined up with the match. Yeah, I bet you I could watch the match and I could do commentary, and it'll probably sync, and it'll probably be a lot better. You know, with Excalibur. But yet none of this wrestling is like every the women's division are excited if Sasha Banks or Melendez or whatever fucking her name is shows up in AEW. Why? She's just gonna eat up all the money. She's gonna take over the belts, and she's gonna beat everybody and not give anybody a fair shake. And then if you put her and Saraya together, that's really gonna eat up your fucking roster, you know. And these people that are morons are okay with that, and they think, oh well, yeah, it's Saraya, and you know, we're great, yeah, yeah. It's like you people have lack of faith in your product, literally, have lack of imagination. If you want somebody else from another company that's asking for so much money to bankrupt you and come to your company and run it, you deserve to be put out of business. Eventually, Tony, your money's going to run out. And Daddy's not going to support any more ventures. Unless you got that Saudi oil shit, then that's a different story. Just saying. But I honestly, I don't see it. I don't see no value. I would rather pay to see my talent move up in the roster than worry about some has-been like Saraya be part of a company. See, and that's what they need to do. They need to debut more indie workers. That's the future. That's the future right there. Something like this. Well, yeah, see, here's where I'm going to tell you. Even when I watch, all right, when I was putting my roster together for my show in June, all right, I have to look at the roster, and I have to sit back and kind of coordinate and say, okay, who am I going to get? 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 And my booker comes, yes, wrestling names are coming up. There's no imagination to it. You know what? I might as well just turn the stream into a podcast. Nobody thinks of wrestling names. Nobody thinks about the gimmicks. Nobody really. There's no ravishings. You know, like Ravishing Rick Rudes. There's no Mr. Wonderfuls. There's no, you know, like the American Dreams. There's no more, you know. It's like when you see a name like Gypsy Mac, huh? You know? It's like you might as well go. It's like they went through a name generator and said, "Let me see what kind of name I can get." Click, click, and they pull two names out. My new name is Bazooka Joe. And dress up in the colors of fucking Bazooka Joe the Gum. So it's like put it like this, and I'm not making fun of these people. Obviously, in the game, like Jazz Sizzle, there's a wrestling name. Sam Wearers, there's a wrestling. Dark Siad. I know it's supposed to be Dark Side, but Dark Siad. It's like, yeah, online players make better names than the wrestlers. And that is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. You know, it's like, introducing Little Joey. Yeah, it's like, can you imagine that? It's like, can you imagine that? It's like, ladies and gentlemen, in the corner to my right, hailing from parts unknown, the Slopshire Slasher. That's it. Just flop the arm up and down. And his opponent, mashed potatoes. Good. You know? And that's what you could come up with. You know, like, you got Jungle Boy. I don't have a problem with that. We haven't seen that type of gimmick before. since George the Animal Steel, but at least he's not like, yes, Lou, you know. Then you have, other people like Warlow and all that, like Cheeseburger. Oh my God, who's in AEW now? Oh my fucking God, with a name like Cheeseburger, you made it into, well, you know what it is too. Those are indies people they bring in. So it doesn't matter if they win or lose. Obviously they're gonna lose. But I would be fucking embarrassed with a wrestling name called Cheeseburger. If that dude ever came to my company and wanted to look for a job, okay, my first thought, my literally first thought would be, you're getting a fucking name change. Who fucking, what's next? Your manager's Mayor McCheese? Or Big Mac? You know? Or what's your tag partner's name? Quarter Pounder? You know? What the fuck happened to the wrestling business? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. What the fuck happened to the wrestling business? You know what happened to the wrestling business? Everybody stopped taking it serious. Nobody learned to fucking do. Nobody believes in doing the fucking business right. And you got marks that run a business with all the money in the world, and you got the best roster on the indie scene. If you take it serious enough, you can get in there and make a fucking hell of a run. What did they do? They developed some good people, didn't know how to market them, or produce them, or promote them, and they depend on former WWE people to get this going. Like, okay, well, you know what, we have a Cheeseburger. Like, he's gonna put butts in seats. He's gonna probably get all his friends and family, and and the people who watch him on YouTube, all his YouTubey buddies. And they're gonna be the ones to buy a fucking ticket, because they gotta celebrate their boy. So, yeah, he must have had Blue Ronald. He must have Blue Ronald, the fucking Hamburglar. That's gonna be next. I can't believe they got fucking a wrestler. I would be fucking embarrassed with a person having to go up against the cheeseburger. The cheeseburger. Wow. Nobody fucking thought of a fucking name. He couldn't thought of a better name for himself. That just goes to show you the wrestling business is not what it used to be. Oh well, you run. I'm not going to chase you. I gave you an opportunity. So, I mean, fuck. And when a company can fucking bring a guy named Cheeseburger into your fucking business, what kind of shit is that? And you supposed to take him serious? That's like back in my fucking day, wrestlers were wrestlers. You didn't fuck with them. They were larger than life, built motherfuckers who can kick your ass. Terry says, I met through a YouTube guitar player, an indie wrestler out of San Antonio, Texas, formerly military guy named Chino Bafa Reyes. I believe he said he used his real name on the indies. He just retired at the end of the year. did a bunch of hardcore matches. He has one Facebook pic on him holding a guy. Meanwhile, he has a dollar bill staple. That's another shit of mine. That's another fucking pet peeve of mine. Fucking hardcore wrestling. There is hardcore wrestling, and then there's stupid wrestling. And for those people who break each other with glass, who literally, who go in and put fucking staple dollars to their heads, run a cheese grater over their heads. That's not fucking professional wrestling. That is not professional wrestling. That is not that that's the mentality of the business today. Nobody knows how to be serious in this business. Come up with a serious gimmick or a good gimmick, get in there and do the fucking, and come up with a fucking name. In the 80s, if you came up with a name like Cheeseburger, they'd laugh you out of the fucking building. You would get the beating of your life. And hardcore wrestling, with done right, you can make some good fucking money. I'm going over here. This is nicer. You can do wrestling right, and it will make money. What the problem is, a lot of these indie guys, they want the cheap heat. They want that instant Facebook love, and they don't get it. They honestly don't get it. I know a guy, and I'm not going to mention names because he is a good friend of mine. Hold on. Oh, he's looking around. She's looking around. Let me see if I can get her. Killer blind. Killer blind. Oh yeah, that's gotta sting. Oh fuck. She is after moi. Oh. Oh yeah, that works. Get away. Get a fucking away. I gotta fucking get away. Oh my god. This person don't want me to live. Alright, I'm gonna hide up here. Oh man. It doesn't make fucking sense. The wrestling business is not what it is. I would never, I don't care how YouTube popular indie YouTube darling is, I'm not gonna hire anybody named fucking Cheeseburger. That's an embarrassment to the wrestling business. You know, you gotta be really out of your fucking mind to have a name like that, and then do hardcore shit. Yeah, you know, like, come on now. Why the fuck would you? Why in God's name would you want to do fucking hardcore matches? You're not gonna make money. You're not. Go! Thank you! Now go fuck yourself. Of course, let me go back to my story. You know, again, I have a dear friend. I'm not gonna say his name because he's still a good friend. But he does these hardcore, stupid matches where you're bleeding buckets. You're getting yourself put in the hospital for what? $50? And he's been doing it for years. You know, it's like, really, you know, that's all you want to do? And it's ridiculous. You don't go do that. You're going to kill yourself. And yet, it's okay because the indie darlings love him. And, oh, leave the guy alone. He can do it. He's great. He's awesome. But yeah, you think anybody's going to pay your bill, his medical bills? What's going to happen if it's, you know, God forbid he dies and his wife has to take all the expenses? You know? It's not worth the money. It's not worth the injuries you're going to get. And with today, with so many sicknesses going around, you don't need that bullshit. You know? It's just one ridiculous shit after the other. You know, cheese graters, stapling shit to your heads, you know, ice picks, you know, broken glass. I mean, I could go on, and these morons who do it think it's cool. Death matches. Oh shit, it's great. No, you're not fucking great. You're an idiot. And if you want to do that, let's do it for real. Put you in a real cage with barbed wire all around it. All right? No turnbuckles, no mats. Put you in there with a serial killer who, if he wins, he goes free. Obviously, you can lie, and you arrest him as soon as he gets out. Or you give him, it's like, okay, you beat the shit out of that guy. Go ahead and kill him. We'll give you an extra pack of cigarettes. You know, so you can take that back to prison. And I guarantee none of these motherfuckers would do it because they know for a fact that they're going to get their asses handed to them because it's fake. You know, the injuries are real. The physicality is real when you get slammed, when you get flipped over and all that. You get injuries. You suffer a lot of concussions. You do a lot. But when you're in death matches, you're now putting your life even to a higher extent that you're going to get more fucking shit done to you. And that's why no one respects the wrestling business. Sure, you got WWE, who has all the crowds. You got AEW slowly starting to get up there. Because wrestling is still fun. Wrestling is still good. You know, it's just... It just... You know, it just didn't make sense. You know, it just doesn't make sense. Me, I don't look for flash in the pants. I look for people with wrestling gear who know how to wrestle, who can talk, and who had some sort of gift. You know, I don't have a problem if they're not physical specimens. If you can talk the talk, you can do the work, you can get in there, I'm fine with that. Great. Boom. Let's move on. Okay. But when you go into a shit that honestly, you know, when you look at stuff and people are just killing themselves for chump change. What the fuck? You know? What the fuck? You know? You're not impressing anyone. You impress your internet lovers, but that's it. It's a real serious, for me. It's a real serious subject because I was in the wrestling business when it was still great. You know, we were in the Attitude Era. I started out in the '90s, so 1990 I started. Got to see a lot of real, worked with a lot of real people, wrestlers. Got to meet a lot of real wrestlers, and got to see some serious shows and see the debut of a lot of great young talent who busted their ass. And you get to this, then you get to the Attitude Era and the NWO era. It popped, everything popped. Everybody was wrestling shows were popping all over. ECW comes along and it starts falling because everybody wants to extreme. Everybody wants hardcore, you know. Yeah, and it's like boom, it started floundering because it was like this, and I said it. If you do one chair shot in an ECW show, somebody's going to do another chair shot. Then the third person's going to do two chair shots. Then another person's going to say, okay, I'm going to hit you with three chairs. I'm going to put you through a table. Well, then you get, by the time you get to the main event, you're up to five chair shots, four tables. One is flaming. Okay, you got barbed wire around it. What the fucking hell? You know? What the hell? You killed the wrestling business because now guys who were making good money, people who were believing that wrestling had some realization in it, were now killing each other, you know, in a sport where you shouldn't be killing each other and not getting paid enough for it. You know, that's where you go to Ultimate Fighting. That's where you go to MMA. Then I guarantee MMA is going to look at you like, you want a real fight? Put the chair down, get in the cage. Let's see you get in the cage with somebody that's really going to kill you. You know, I guarantee you, all these little indie darlings who love the death matches, they go into shit like that. You're not in there with your buddy. You're not in there with someone who's going to be nice to you, who doesn't care if you can do the Macho Man impression. You're going to be in there with someone who's going to kill you. And I love that because that puts the sense like this ain't fucking real. In a sport that looks supposed to be real, people are doing outrageous things, and it doesn't make sense. It just, you know, and not getting paid for it. Yeah, I remember the last Sandman interview I seen on YouTube recently. He was so fed up, couldn't remember or answer stuff. You know, he was so fucked up he couldn't remember or answer stuff. He would just ask because he couldn't remember it. Seemed slow. Of course he seemed slow. Between the drugs, between the drinking, between the, well, you know, the chair shots and abuse. You're going to lose a couple of screws. You're not going to be all there. You're not going to remember what happened yesterday. No, you might not remember. You might wake up and not know where the fuck you are. That's how bad the wrestling business is. Oh, and it's a shame. It literally is a shame. It's like, you know, hardcore matches. There is a time and place for it. During the middle of a feud, where you can take it to the next level and then go into the final where you got to book them in a steel cage match. You know, you don't need to just throw willy-nilly, let's throw a death match on a card. Like Combat Zone Wrestling, Tournament of Death. You got to be really stupid to get paid $50 to fucking die and get into a bunch of barbed wire and light tubes for what? What's the gratification from that? A bunch of indie people saying, oh, he's great. Yeah, WWE's like, holy shit, you see what that dumbass is doing? Think they gonna want you? Fuck no. You think AEW is gonna think of taking you? No, you're gonna dial that shit back. But nowadays AEW is so desperate for fucking anybody. They'll they'll literally hire anybody because they're trying to get their numbers high. Like I said, wrestling right, wrestling done right can make money. Back in the 80s, wrestlers didn't need to do fancy moves. They didn't need to do anything extravagant. They got in there, did the matches, and they basically we grew up believing it. That's the difference between the 80s. That's what's missing in wrestling today, the believability. Where, like, I see a guy, no offense to Darby Allin, I think he's just young, great talent, but if he seriously thought, okay, that he should be like a heavyweight contender, yeah, sure, Darby. Him, you know, right, dog. He needs to put on. He needs to put on like a good 50 pounds, bulk himself up, and really, and other people that's just as tiny. You know, I can't take someone serious who looks like they should be served, who should be looking at you and say, "Do you want fries with that?" Nothing wrong with McDonald's people, all right. But if you're a skinny little shit and you're getting over, I can see if you're getting over in a cruiserweight division. You should never, nowhere near be fighting heavyweights. And that's a fact. You know, like Darby Allin versus Samoa Joe. Okay, first of all, and like I said, no offense to Darby. Darby's a good talent, but the guy is like, you know, he's the type of person you could take and punch him in the face, and the match will be, fight will be over. Uh oh. And obviously, I'm not a big guy. I'm not, you know, I'm sure there's wrestlers out there who could whip my ass with no problem, but you know they're gonna have a fight. But like I said, it boils down to, don't you start with me, dog. You know, yeah. See, Pac is a good example. Pac is small, but Pac is built. Pac's got that British bulldog build, like Dynamite Kid, who wasn't big at all. You know, look at MJF. He put on a little bit more muscle. He looks good. He's got all the tools. FTR, another group. You know, I'm not saying the era of Mr. Wonderful, Ravishing Rick Rude, Don Morocco, Hulk Hogan. You know, the Road Warriors are long gone. You know, all those type of guys are going to MMA. So you'll never hurt that dog. Dog is always complaining. So, I mean, eh. But when a wrestler named Cheeseburger, it's in wrestling, and he gets to work for a company, even though it's an internet thing, it's not a real. You know, there's, and everybody, and they let it go, okay? the backstage people said, sure, go let him call Funkin himself Cheeseburger. You know, if you had a stupid name back in the 80s and 90s, they'd look at you like, you ain't going out there with that name. Are you stupid? Huh? I'm trying to heal this guy up. I hope that she doesn't come over here. Let's get this going. You know, but who am I? You know? I'm a person with common fucking sense and that speaks his mind. And I got this moronic thing, it's called thinking, which the government doesn't want you to do. Oh, don't tell me she quit. Yep, person quit. With a name like Riz God, you quit. Oh well. Oh well. I don't think she even hooked anybody. Maybe she hooked someone. I don't know. Fucking who knows. Anyway, guys, I know this is a short stream, under an hour. My dog needs to go out, so I am going to call it right here. I will be on tomorrow doing. You know what? Since we're talking wrestling, I am going to do a wrestling. I'm going to do WWE 2K22. So, 20, yeah, 22. And I will be. We'll do something with that. We'll just play along with that and have a little fun with that. So, you know, and again, I love these chats. I love people come up here. Terry, you're awesome. I love everybody who participates in here, who likes to get in, not afraid to say their shit. Not, you know, that's what it's all about. That's why we have freedom of speech. It's great to talk things out because you hear everybody's opinion. You work your problems out. We just started. You know, we just started 2023. Let's hope everything works out. Thank God this is the last year of Biden, because don't vote Democrat this year. So let's hope that it's a better year. Let's hope things get a hell of a lot better. We already started shitty from what I've seen, but let's hope the rest of the year works out good. And everybody, like, subscribe, and follow my channel. Do the hashtag Skulljuice Realm. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I am also on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. So make sure you go for that. If you're interested in Skulljuice Realm merchandise, like t-shirts, hats, and everything, that, go to SkulljuiceRealm.live, and you just hit the merch button and you'll see what's going on. So with that, everybody.